Christmas is supposed to be magical, but when your entire family treats you like you're disposable, sometimes the holiday spirit turns into cold, calculated revenge. What happened in my house on Christmas morning changed everything, and by sunrise the next day, the woman who raised me was sobbing, begging me not to walk away. I always believed families weren't meant to be perfect, just supportive. But I learned last Christmas that mine only cared about one person, and it sure as hell wasn't me. My sister Vanessa was the golden child, pretty, popular, dramatic, and loud enough to fill every room with her presence. I, on the other hand, was the one who blended into the background. I wasn't a failure. I had a good job, an apartment, paid my own bills, but none of that mattered to my parents. To them, Vanessa walked on water, and I walked behind her carrying towels. Christmas at our house was always dramatic. But nothing prepared me for what happened last year. I arrived Christmas morning with gifts I spent weeks choosing. I had wrapped everything carefully, made personalized tags, and even brought handmade cookies. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I just wanted to be included. I wanted to feel like part of the family. But the moment I walked in, Mom rushed past me, barely glancing at the bag in my hand. "Oh good honey, you made it," she said, but her eyes weren't on me. They were on Vanessa. Vanessa twirled in front of the living room mirror, flipping her hair like she was filming a commercial. She wore a red designer dress, one I knew she didn't buy herself. Mom clapped her hands. "Everyone, come to the driveway." I stood there confused. "Why? Didn't we just start?" Dad laughed. "We saved the best for last." Best. I should have known that phrase didn't include me. We all walked out to the driveway, and I swear I felt my stomach drop into my shoes. Sitting there, shining in the winter sunlight, was a brand new, fully loaded Lexus RX, the kind that costs more than some houses in Midwest towns. A giant red bow sat on the hood. Vanessa shrieked at a frequency only dogs should be able to hear. "Oh, God. Dad. Are you serious?" My parents were glowing, smiling so hard you'd think they were being filmed for a luxury commercial. Dad held out the keys like he was handing her the cure for a deadly disease. "All yours, princess." Princess. My chest tightened. I tried to smile. I tried not to look jealous. I tried not to feel like a complete idiot for even showing up. Clapped politely. "Wow, Vanessa. That's incredible." Without looking at me, she tossed her hair. "Well, this is what happens when you actually accomplish things. Some of us have standards." Mom didn't even correct her. Not even a "Now, sweetheart, be kind." Nothing. We walked inside again for more gifts. Vanessa sat smugly, keys dangling from her fingers like she wanted to hypnotize everyone. One by one she opened gifts. Gucci earrings, a diamond bracelet, a new MacBook, and an envelope full of fun money for shopping trips. When it was my turn, Mom handed me a small paper bag. Not even wrapped. Inside was a plain white ceramic mug with "Hustle" printed crookedly on it. The sticker was still stuck to the bottom. $5.99. I looked up thinking it was a joke. Mom smiled like she'd done something meaningful. "I saw it on clearance and thought of you. You're always so busy working. Now you can drink tea in it." Dad nodded. "Practical gifts are best." Vanessa snorted. "That's cute. Very you." The humiliation burned so deep I felt numb. I forced a smile, even though I wanted to walk straight out the door and never come back. I stayed through dinner. Stayed through dessert. Stayed through the card games where Vanessa bragged non-stop about her new car. Around 11 p.m. I finally left. My cheap mug clinked quietly in the bag as I walked to my old Honda. When I got home I cried. Not because of the gifts, but because it suddenly hit me. My family didn't value me. Oh, not even enough to pretend. I fell asleep around 3 a.m. And the next morning, something in me snapped. Oh, something awakened. I woke up with a clarity I had never felt before. If my family saw me as nothing, then fine. I'd show them exactly what nothing could do. I grabbed my laptop, made coffee, and sat down with a determination I had never felt before. For years I had been saving money. I had a decent nest egg, a good credit score, and zero debt. I had always told myself I'd buy a condo someday. But suddenly a new idea sparked. Dangerous, powerful, thrilling. I opened a real estate website. And I bought something. Not a condo. Not a car. I bought the entire childhood home my parents and Vanessa were currently living in. Here's the thing. The house was already on a pre-foreclosure list. I knew they were behind on payments because last year Dad hinted things were tight. They assumed they still had months. They didn't. The bank accepted my offer before noon. By 3 p.m. I received the transfer confirmation. The house was legally mine. I sat there shaking, staring at my screen. This wasn't petty revenge. This was justice. Cold, clean, legal justice. But it wasn't enough. Not yet. At 6 p.m., I drove back to my parents' house. Snow crunched under my tires as I pulled up. Mom answered the door with a surprised expression. "Sweetheart, we didn't expect you back," Vanessa shouted from the living room. "If you're here to see the Lexus again, no worries. You can take a picture this time." I smiled calmly. "No, Vanessa. I'm here for something else." Dad walked over. "Everything okay, honey?" I pulled the envelope from my coat pocket. "This arrived for you." Dad frowned and opened it. Inside was the official notice of property transfer with my name listed as the new owner. His face was drained of color. Mom stepped forward. "What is this?" I spoke softly, but every word sliced through the air like ice. "I bought the house." Vanessa laughed. "No, you didn't. Stop being weird." Dad swallowed hard. "She did." Mom's mouth fell open. Why would you do this? You've been behind on payments for months. I saw it on the public records. So I purchased it before the bank did." Mom shook her head. "But why?" My voice didn't shake. "Because yesterday I realized I owe this family nothing. Not love. Not loyalty. Not patience. No explanations. Nothing." Mom stepped closer, her tone suddenly trembling. "Honey, we didn't mean to hurt you. You bought Vanessa a luxury SUV and treated me like a stray dog who wandered into your house." Gasped. "That's not true." "It is," I said coldly. "And you know it." Vanessa folded her arms. "So what now? Are you going to kick us out? That's pathetic." I turned to her slowly. "Actually, yes." Her smirk cracked. Dad whispered, "No. No, sweetheart, you wouldn't." I handed them the second envelope. It was a 30-day notice to vacate. Mom stumbled backward like she'd been slapped. "You're evicting us." "I am," Vanessa screamed. "You can't do that." "I legally can. And I legally did." Dad put a hand on his head. "We're family." Family doesn't humiliate, degrade, and neglect one of their own, I said softly. A family doesn't treat one child like royalty and the other like trash. Mom's voice cracked. We can change. No, I said, stepping back. I already did. Vanessa lunged toward me like she wanted to slap the paper out of my hand. I simply raised my phone. I'm recording. She froze. Then she exploded. You jealous, bitter, pathetic. Mom grabbed her. Stop it. Stop. Dad covered his face. Please, please don't do this. We have nowhere to go. I shook my head. You should have thought of that before you treated me like I was disposable. Mom's eyes filled with tears, spilling down her cheeks. Please. Don't ruin the family. I met her gaze. You ruined it yesterday. She fell to her knees, literally knees on the hardwood floor, and sobbed. Please don't take our home. Vanessa stood frozen, shaking with rage. Dad whispered, We're sorry, please. But I had felt sorry for them my entire life. Not anymore. You have 30 days, I said quietly. Use them wisely. I turned around, opened the door, and walked out into the cold. Snow fell gently as I stepped into my car. My $5 mug sat in the cup holder. I smiled for the first time in years. And whispered, Merry Christmas, to me.